We're going to talk about outputs now, but before we do that, since there's not that many outputs, let's just kind of do a quick review of everything we've gone over so far. We talked about channel strips, right? All these are channel strips going across here. We talked about the faders, which are basically just volume control. Zero is not zero volume. It's just whatever the signal strength is coming into that channel. If you go above zero, it's boosting it. If you go below zero, it's attenuating, it's reducing it. And that's just basically controls the volume going out of this console for each one of these channels. Next to that, or after that, we talked about muting. So you can mute each channel with the mute button, or you can mute with the groups. After that, we talked about layers. So everything is on layers, layer A, B, C, D, E, and F. This can receive up to 64 inputs. You don't have to memorize, you don't have to know that. Just know that all of the inputs are over here, and they're just spread out over all of these layers. And the right side also has layers as well. We talked about DCAs, so all these DCAs here. These are just group volume control. So right here, this first one, band, you can see all of the channels that are in that group. So when we adjust this volume, it's going to adjust the volume for everything in that group, all of the channels that are in that group for each one of these groups. And then after that, we talked about the layout of this, for how all the inputs are coming in to the left, they're being processed, and they're going out. And so now we are going to look specifically at the outputs. So I'm going to switch over to layer C so we can see all of the outputs, and we'll go through them really quickly. On the far right, we have the main LR. So all the audio going out of this output right there is going to the speakers that the congregation is listening to. This is also what you will be listening to as you're working behind this console. So when you're serving up here behind this console, you're going to be listening to the same thing that the congregation is listening to, and that audio is going to be coming from that channel right there. So main, left, right, that is what you'll be listening to. All right, next to that we have the live stream. So the audio that goes out of this goes to YouTube. It also goes to a device that records the service and later gets broadcasted to TV. And it also gets sent to that CD, to a CD player or recorder that's over here to my left, just off screen. So that's what this is for. The next output, B-MON, that stands for B monitor. So all the audio that goes out of that output right there is going to speakers that are on the stage, on the floor, on the stage. And those speakers are aimed at the musicians, at the singers, at the choir. It's for everybody on the stage. So that is the main audio source for everybody that's on the stage. Next we have A-MON. So that's the A monitor. A monitor is all the audio that goes out of this channel here goes to some speakers hanging from the ceiling that are facing the choir. So it's just kind of a supplemental, some supplemental audio volume in case the B is just not enough. And that's mainly for the choir. So even though everyone on stage will probably be able to hear it, it's mainly for the choir. B monitor is for everybody. A is mainly for the choir. The last one here, HBN, that stands for halls, balcony, and nursery. So all the audio going out of that channel right there is going to some speakers on the ceiling in the hallways. And right now we're up in the balcony, and underneath this balcony on the ceiling there are some speakers. The audio from this channel goes to those speakers as well. And then the nursery. So on the other side of the church there's a nursery. They have a speaker back there so they can hear what's going on in the sanctuary. And one of the benefits of having the speakers back in the nursery is not only can they join and participate with us during the worship time, the singing and the praise, and to be able to listen in on the sermon, but it also gives them a heads up to know when the service is ending so that they can start preparing the kids to be picked up by their parents. So very, very useful. So again, here, this goes to the speakers that the congregation listens to. This goes to our live stream, our online viewers. This goes to the stage for all the musicians and singers. This right here goes to speakers on the ceiling, but it's mainly for the choir, and then halls, balcony, and nursery.